Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, hello everyone. My name is Aldiansyah Arthanan, and by this change, I would like to deliver my video project about discussing a novel due to fulfill my English Prose I final exam assignments. So let's get started. Well, before I jump into the explanation, I would like to introduce my chosen novel. It is Sarah Winman's Winman. Okay, so about the author. So Sarah Winman, she is born in 1964. Sarah Winman is a British actress and an actor. Well, her debut novel When God Was a Rabbit became an international bestseller, and then also she wins the award for a new writer of the year in the Galaxy National Book Awards. Well, this is the book profile, so let's give the title. So the genre, it is Bildungsroman, fiction and romance. So Bildungsroman, it is new genre to me, which I'm going to explain it later in the next slide. So it is published in July 27 and 2017. And then also about its publishers, it divided into two publishers, so Tinder Press and GP Putnam Sons. So it has a 47 editions, and then also this book consists of 230 pages. So its language is English, and then also this book wins a literary award for a 20 and 17 Costa Novel Award. So let's get started. So the first question, why is the novel is interesting for you? Well, if you ask me whether this novel is interesting or not, well, the answer is yes, it is interesting. Why? Because I personally found that this novel is very different with most of the novels that I ever heard. Why? Because to me, most novels they have a predictable ending. Whenever you follow the storyline, you may easily suggest that whether the ending will be good or bad. But however, reading Sarah's Winman Tin Man, we will receive the ending that we would never thought that it would end like that. But to move on, we will think somehow that I think that it is better to end that way. Well, to evaluate about Bildungsroman is a genre which is focused on the main character's moral growth from youth to adulthood. And then also the character change is also important. Well, the structured storyline is also understandable coupled with the perspective with the two main characters, Alice and Michaels. The story is much more interesting. And then also about this moral value that included in the story is easily acceptable for a teenager since this story is really suitable for coming of age readers. Okay, so the second question, what issues in the novel that is relevant to today's situation? Well, the first one to mention it is LGBTQ. Well, with loneliness, Alice continues to reminisce about his long-lost best friend Michael who left him after his grandmother died, making Alice a middle-aged widower become sad. So as we can conclude that the issue of love between the same sexual orientation, or what we may call it right now as LGBTQ, these LGBTQ issues is the main problem in the story and also the most recent issues in real life. So the second issue is AIDS epidemic. So switching to Michael's perspective, in the second half of the novel, which contains Michael's memory of his intimacy with Alice, for 9 days, Michael and Alice were in the same bedroom having a same sexual orientation interaction, which leads to AIDS epidemic. And then also, what specific formal elements that will be your starting points and give your arguments? Well, about its theme, it tells about a forbidden love between Michael and Alice, which their love story began while they were still in a boy. So, making friends like a children in general, accompanied with Annie, who secretly growed her love interest towards Alice, as what we may call it as love triangle. But everything changed once Michael left to go to London due to her dead grandmother. So Annie had to endure the separation between her and Alice, which immediately ended their friendship once Michael left. And also about its plot, it uses a parallel plot to divide the same events that occurred between the character and to give a different response between the characters, which is good. And then also about its flashbacks. So in Tin Man's, flashbacks engage the reader with a much more realistic explanation from the character's memory with their remembrance of an early event that happened before the current point of the story occurred, and also about its point of view. With the usage of the first point of view in the story, Tin Mans also provide a two point of view from two sources, Alice and Michael's. So Alice's perspective appears in the first half of the story or in the beginning of the story, and then Michael's appears in the final half in the novel. So the last question. Personalize the topic in your video project based on your argumentative judgment. Well, things that happen between Alice and Michael as well as between Alice and Annie told us that it is undeniably that all of this fictional story now it is being applied and are currently happening in their real life. Well, life imitates art. Is the word that's suitable for nowadays condition. However, based on what happened to Alice and Michael and Annie is such a tragedy where one of them should have the courage to take a bravery movement, whether it has to be Alice who have to be the one who confess or express his feelings towards Michael, so he would not end up being alone for the rest of his life, or maybe Michael who should have known that Alice and realizing that Alice is like him, or maybe Annie who should have realized that she's just wasting her time for waiting Alice. Well, in my opinion, I think that sometimes things that is in front of our eyes, we have to keep it as strong as we have and keep being grateful for that. And then also sometimes when we have hope, we have to take the courage to fight for what we really wanted before even losing it forever. Well, I think that's the end of my video project. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.